What is the deal, family? It's your boy back in the building once again on a cold winter night. Excuse me, cold night in Texas. It is 20 some degrees, cold outside. But guess what? It's all gravy, baby. Because we is in the building ready to talk some Atlanta Hawk basketball. We getting fired up for the second half of the season. So excited. Cannot wait for the season to start just to see how we come out, man. Hopefully we come out aggressive. Hopefully we come out playing amazing. You know, that's uh that's what I'm hoping for. Okay. That's what I'm hoping for. We all know that sometimes our team can come out and be a little I don't want to say lazy, but a little lackluster sometimes. Give me 1 second, family. Let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Um, let's get this popping. Yeah. So family, we up in here, man. One day tomorrow, we back on the grind with these games. Hopefully, um, we can come out. Hopefully, I know I'm saying hopefully a lot, but man, listen, I don't know what I'm gonna get from this team any given night. Okay, on paper, on paper, we look good. Our record, our record says we're not good. 26, 29, excuse me, 26 and 28. We 2 games under 500. Nobody would have predicted that. I don't think no Hawks fan coming off an Eastern Conference final appearance would have predicted that. But it is what it is. This is where we at. What's good, Len? How you doing, homie? Len said, hopefully they got their mind right. You know, that's exactly what I'm hoping for. Hopefully they come ready to play and not bullshitting around. I don't want to hear no more of that regular season boring crap. We need this team to come out and basically, set the tone for the second half of the season. That's what we really need. Let's set the tone. Let's not do what we did to start off the season. So, I mean, we still have time to recover and salvage our seasons, family. We still have time. We can salvage the season, but we have to come out and we have to play with purpose. We have to come out and respect our opponents. We have to come out and want to win the game, not just get by. We have to come out and say, you know what? We're better than this other team. We're going to come out and we're going to dominate. And then come out and dominate. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Simple as that. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that, obviously we're going to lose games. It is what it is. But we don't have to finish we don't have to be under 500. Okay? Under 500, man. We out here looking like a hot mess. We're not even getting talked about, which maybe it could be a good thing. It could be a good thing that we are kind of under the radar at the moment. No pressure. No pressures on this team. I mean, we probably have pressure within the organization, but I mean, we have no pressure from any outside sources. You know what I'm saying? The media, none of that stuff. We have no pressure. No one is checking for the Atlanta Hawks. Okay. Let's be honest here. No one's checking for us. So we should be able to come out and play free flowing basketball. We don't have nobody with contract issues lingering over their head. We don't have nobody with no personal issues that we know of that's out in the public that demands attention. So we should come out and be very focused. And Coach Nate McMillan, he need to let the guys know, listen, We don't have time to play around. We are trying to make the playoffs. We're trying our best to avoid a playing game. So we have to come out and play with purpose. We have 20 some games left, family. That's it. I think it's what 24 games left. So, I mean, as the old saying goes, it's time to either shit or get off the toilet. Let somebody else get there. So hopefully everybody coming off the break with their A game. Hopefully, I mean, it's gonna suck because Collins, he not even practicing right now, according to reports. So, it's gonna be hard to win these games without Collins, but we can win these games without Collins. We beat the Cleveland Cavs without John Collins. So we should be able to come out and play and go head to head with any team in the league, if we decide to play perimeter defense and not just give up wide open threes. Okay. So I think our next game is tomorrow night against the Chicago Bulls, man. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the Bulls is no joke. They are nothing to play with. That game could get out of hand real fast if we decide to come out here and lollygag, as we say in the Army. You come out here and lollygag. Them boys are 38-21. They 38-21 for a reason, not because they're scrubs. Okay. Meanwhile, we are 28-30. 28-30. 2 games under 500. Okay. Obviously Chicago's favored by Vegas, as they should be, but we need to get out here, family, and get it in. Get out and get it in. Okay? Playing no games. I mean, the trade deadline has come and went. So you see the top buyout candidates signing with contenders. I don't know if we was even considered by any of those players, but I mean, I can't be mad at them. Don't nobody want to come to a team that's 2 games under 500. Your buyout candidates usually they them dudes chasing a ring. So why would they want to come and sign with Atlanta? We 2 games under 500. We in the 10th spot. So why would a buyout candidate even want to come over here? You know what I'm saying? And we got our resident Raptors fan in the building, Raj. He said he can't wait for the Atlanta and the Raptors game, and that he's back. Welcome back, Raj. But Chicago, man, we cannot play around with these teams, man. But you know what? If we lose to the Bulls, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, obviously, when you look at the records and stuff, they're a better team than we are. They're a better team. And I'm just going strictly off facts, off the record. It's a reason why how many games over 500? There's 17 games over 500, excuse me, while we're 2 games under 500. So the record says they're better than us. Our record says we're just an average ball club in the NBA. So I mean, don't get me wrong. I hope we win the game, but I mean, man, we've dug ourselves such a hole, man. Dug ourselves such a hole. So every game is valuable. Every game is important. He said, I shouldn't be shocked if we lose to the Raptors. We beat you guys 2 times, so the record says we're better than you guys. I mean, the Raptors are a decent team. Y'all not no Raj. Y'all not no world beaters, bro. I mean, I know you hype, but I mean, let's be honest here. Y'all not winning no championship this year. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. It's cool that y'all 2 games over 500, 4 games over 500. Y'all not no world beaters. But I think we might take y'all this time. I think we learned. We think we're going to come out this second half of the season and be a totally different team. I think we're going to beat the Raptors. I think we're going to beat Chicago. I just feel like we're gonna come out with some real energy this second half, knowing that our backs against the wall, knowing that our backs against the wall, just like it was last year. We came out second half of the season, went 27-11. So I mean, it's possible. We've done it before. We could do it again. What's good, my guy? Abdul, what's good? I can't believe the Hawks couldn't steal Dragic or even show it, bro. Because we under 500, man. A player like Dragic not gonna come here. The first thing he looking for is a contender. The second thing he looking for is playing time. And some of them contender teams, they can give him that. We can't give him that. You know, we can't give him that. So I mean, just off our record alone, if I was a free agent, I wouldn't even. If I was a buyout candidate, I wouldn't even look over here. Why? Why would I want to? If I got a chance to play with any other team, why would I want to? I'm going to a top 4 team at a minimum. If you ain't top 4, don't even reach out to my agent. Okay, don't even do it. You know, maybe if I was a young dude, but Dragic, he up there. What's Dragic? 30, and he's in his 30s. He chasing the ring, man. I ain't shocked. You know, my guy Omar said, if we want to beat the Bulls, we just can't leave their best shooters open. That's facts. That's 100% facts, Omar. 100% facts. And that's what I was saying. We have to improve. Once we improve on the perimeter, we should be good. Because I'd rather give up a 2 than a 3 any day of the week. You feel me? Any day of the week, I'd rather give up a 2 than a 3. Okay. We've been letting teams light us up from 3-point line. Almost every team in the last I'll say since the season started, almost every team has been shooting above their 3-point percentage, their average 3-point percentage. So, like you said, we have to patrol that 3-point line. You know, I give it up to DeRozan. If he want to take the mid-range, let him take it. Let him take it. You know, he automatic from mid-range anyway. We just don't want players to get hot from 3. That's what's been killing us the whole season. Kyle said they shot 63% from 3. That won't happen again. You're correct. 63. They shot 63% from 3 as a team. So the chances of that happening again is slim to none. Okay. To happen again against the same team, slim to none. Okay. Hopefully, these dudes have learned that we need to guard the perimeter the whole game. You know what I'm saying? So you go back to the Cavs win, right? We beat the Cavs. You know what you notice when you go back and you see when we beat the Cavs, when you look at the box score, we didn't give up a 40-point quarter. It seemed like every loss we give up a freaking 40-point quarter. I don't know what happens, where these defensive lapses come in at, but we kept giving up them 40-point quarters. Same thing we did with when we played the Spurs when they came to the A. We gave up 42 first quarter points. We cannot allow that to happen. We didn't give Cleveland, I think, if I remember correctly, I got to go look it up. I think we only gave up 1 30-point quarter. And that's what we're going to have to do, guys. We have to fix the defensive side of the ball. I know people saying we need another all-star to play with Trey, but what good is another score if we can't stop the other team from scoring? That's my whole point. We're the number 2 offensive efficient team in the NBA. We are the 3rd best 3-point shooting team in the NBA at 37%. We don't need any more scores. Don't get me wrong. All-star caliber player such as a Donovan Mitchell or something like that would definitely help. I mean, you don't pass up no talent like that. You know, if you make an offer they can't refuse. But we need people who not scared to defend, who not scared to go through picks, go through screens, who not scared to run around the court. I think the team has gotten lazy, trying to just I call it lazy defense. when they go down and try to double team people in the paint for no reason at all. And we do it all the time. We do it all the time. Drop down in the paint. Why? Why? Why do we do that? Especially when you know, like when Trey does it. I can't stand when Trey does that. Don't go double in the paint, bro. First of all, it ain't nothing you can do down there, Trey. Just stay on your man. If the dude back down Collins, back down to Conwu, back down Clint, so be it. You know what I'm saying? So be it. You let them do that. But at the end of the day, we cannot afford to give up. This is not the 90s NBA, bro. Everybody can shoot a three. So you just can't leave these dudes open at the 3-point line, man. I'd rather if that dude can back down on Conwu, Collins, and Capella and get a hard earned 2 points, you just got to tip your cap. But you don't see the crowd going crazy when somebody score a 2-pointer in the paint. But when cats start hitting them threes, that's when that crowd go crazy for threes. The crowd get into the game. Now you letting them players get hot. You see my point? And if you go back and watch these losses, that's what's been going on, family. That has really been going on. You feel me? Okay, here go Raj still running his mouth. Raj talking about some. Don't forget, we can't play defense. Okay, if a team plays defense, what'd he say? If a team plays defense, your offense don't work. Bro, what are you talking about? Our offense don't work if a team play defense. That makes no sense. How does our offense doesn't work? If a team play defense, our offense don't work. Nah, I don't know what you're talking about. There you go, my girl Jay. Like, oh, Rod, you're back. If you're a Hawks fan, just say you're a Hawks fan. What's good, Rashad? Let me know if you want to tap in, bro. Here you go, family. Let me drop the link. Anybody need to come on the show, voice your opinions or anything, just copy the link. Come on in here. Boom. Just copy that link. Follow the instructions. Come on in here. But like I was saying, I keep harping on our perimeter defense, man. That's the make or break thing with this team right here. Those 3-pointers we keep giving up. We letting these dudes get in career. We let guys like Trent Jr. get career highs, you know. And I know people, they be coming up with all type of excuses. Well, he didn't score 30 in 5 or 6 straight. I don't care. He is not a 30-point scorer average. He averaged 17. If we hold him to his average, we would have won the game. If we would have held him to their 3-point shooting percentage, we win the game. That's the only reason the Raptors beat us. What's good, Drummer Boy? Drummer Boy in the building. That's the only reason we lost to the Raptors. And I'm only talking about the Raptors because Raj in here running his mouth. But I don't care about the Raptors, to be honest. What I'm really focused on is making sure that we can win the games we are supposed to win. Like these teams under 500, we have to. There's no excuse. We have to beat those teams, man. We have to beat those teams. So, you know, we're at a point to where every game is important, but obviously we're going to lose some of the games. But we have to beat these teams, man. You feel me? My boy Rashad say Trent a baller. I didn't say Trent wasn't a baller. What I said was we need to hold guys like Trent Jr. We need to hold guys like Trent Jr. to their season average. We cannot allow guys like Trent Jr. to go off. You know what I'm saying? You can't let at least Van Fleet and what's the other dude name? And Siakam. At least they all stars. You know? But you can't allow Gary Trent Jr. to double his average in points. Usually, if you've been following the team, usually it's some random guy who run us up for a career high. So I'm not surprised that it happened, but we need to stop it. We need to limit those type of gains from these players. You know, when we used to play the Heat, it used to be Kendrick Nunn. I think he averaged 25 points against us every time we play him. You know, when we played Portland early this year, it was dang Anthony Simmons going off for a career high 40 some points. So we have to, that's another, we have to limit these players having career highs that are not star players. You know what I'm saying? Rashad said he got us going 21-3. Wow. Okay. All right. But don't also remember, even if we go 21-3, like Jay said, we still gonna need some assistance from these other teams, man. We need these other teams to lose these games so we can try to creep up. I think realistically, the 7th seed is there. I'm not too much behind getting to the 6. I think we're gonna need too much help to try to get to the 6th seed, but you never know what can happen. You never know what could happen. One of those teams above us could fall. They could come across some injury or something. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, you know what's so funny? Nobody in the All-Star game got hit with COVID. That's crazy to me. It's crazy how like all these players, especially the Hawks, that month of December, it's like everybody got hit to COVID. It's like we got hit with COVID all at once, man. Like we had so many players out, and I don't think another team went through that type of um just craziness that we did in the month of December, man. Like we had at one point we had like 3 G leaguers on the court at the same time. Like I remember that one interview Trey gave. He was like, I walk into the gym, I don't even know my teammates. So I mean, I just thought that was weird how like nobody else got hit with COVID, like an all-star. Everybody was able to play. It's amazing, man. It's hilarious, but that's a different topic. But yeah, December really hurt us so bad, man. Like, we was kind of rebounding, and damn, just December it just hit us so hard, family. Hit us so hard. But luckily, those dark days are past us. Water under the bridge. You know what I'm saying? We, like Trey and them say, hashtag we move. Now we just got to start moving with wins. You feel me? And I think maybe we can catch Chicago slipping. Maybe they come out unmotivated and we take advantage. That would be awesome if we could do that. You know what I'm saying? But Rashad said everybody else did. They had to extend the salary cap and bring in 10-day contract players. Which, man, that was like the dumbest thing ever, man. Like those games when you playing that many G Leaguers and 10 days, like that shit shouldn't even count. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna sit here and whine and complain. Other teams had to go through it, so we had to go through it. It just didn't go well for us when we went through it. It went terrible for us when we went through that month of December with all that COVID and whatnot. But I don't want to hear no excuses now, man. Like, I don't want to hear no excuses. I know the first game we lose, I know some people are already going to say, well, we didn't have Collins. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't even want to hear that excuse. I don't even want to hear that excuse now, family, because we put ourselves in this situation, struggling to make the playoffs. We put ourselves in that situation. And at times, when the chips fall, you got to handle your business. Maybe it'd have been different if we didn't trick off the first half of the season. Then losing Collins for a couple more days don't hurt because listen, when those bigs, those dudes that's 6'8", 6'9", when they get foot injuries, those shits are so nagging. And what my hope is that the little share care, Emory Health, whatever they call it this week, don't rush Collins back on the court. Don't rush him back because I'm still suspect about DeAndre Hunter's knee in the way that the health care that he got from them earlier. Every time he used to come on the court, they'd be like, yeah, he's fine. He come on the court, he played 20 minutes, and his knee swole. So long as let John Collins heal, man. I mean, if we lose games, we lose games, but it is what it is. Here go Rashad talking trash. We better without him. No, we better without Clint Capella. That's who we better than. We better than Clint Capella. But I mean, hey, the Knicks shut down Kemba Walker for the season. So I don't know. Maybe Kemba. I don't know. I heard he can give you a good 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I mean, but you see, Sharif is down there in the G League balling right now. Like this dude did a whole like a 360. I don't know what changed in his preparation or mentality, but man, this dude is hooping right now. That dude had like a 30-point triple-double the other night. He balling right now. I just checked Twitter before I came on. He hooping right now. I mean, maybe he could help us get a good push. But I mean, I don't know whose spot he's gonna take because I don't think Nate is gonna give up that many minutes, gonna take that many minutes from DeLon Wright to play Sharif. Not at this point. His girlfriend was at the game. Sharif, his girlfriend was at the game. Jay. Oh, is he still dating that same girl they was trying to clown him on because she had an OnlyFans or something? And I saw on the internet they was trying to clown him because she got OnlyFans. But man, listen, at the end of the day, man, all I care about is the performance on the court. I don't care who Sharif date. You know, I mean, I don't care who he date. Long as he can hoop on the court, that's all I care. Long as his performance doesn't decrease, I could care less. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong, it was hilarious though. When it first came out, I was like, what? I'm like, bro, you're an NBA baller, dog. Like, it's tons of women out here that don't have an OnlyFans, but how you even find her? You know, hopefully he wasn't subscribed to her OnlyFans before he got drafted. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? He'd be like, hey girl, yeah, I'm trying to date you. And she'd be like, I got an OnlyFans. And then Sharif be like, yeah, I've been subscribed to you for 2 years. That'd be hilarious. Rod, I don't know why Rod stay talking trash, man. Man is shorter than Trey, probably more like NBA G League as Sharif. Man, listen. I'm gonna tell you this, y'all better beat us, bro. The way you talking cash money trash, y'all better beat us, bro. I'm telling you that right now. Because if y'all don't, I'ma find you, Raj, or are you gonna be a man and come in here if we beat y'all? We shall see. We shall see. Or they say he's 6'1", but I don't really know about that. He don't look too tall. But they used to say, hey, they used to list Allen Iverson as 6'1", and everybody know he wasn't no 6'1". OnlyFans make bread for real, for real. Oh yeah, you can make some money up there. I ain't tripping. I just thought it'd be hilarious. Like you subscribe to a woman's OnlyFans and you end up dating her. But the funny part is she don't know you will subscribe. That'd be hilarious. She said, if we beat Josiah, if we beat him, he's still gonna come here complaining. Yeah, he gonna come in here with all type of excuses why we won, why we beat Toronto. They didn't do this or some shit. But I don't think he gonna come in here if we beat him. Now, if they beat us, you definitely know he gonna come in here talking trash. You already know that. But I like Raj entertaining. But guys, I was looking, man. I'm reading, and you know what I saw? I saw somebody that could be available, man. And I know what people gonna say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I've been saying it since the summertime. Zion Williamson. He does not want to be in New Orleans. He does not want to be a Pelican. He don't want to do it. And people saying, yo, he put on all that weight. I think he did that. I think he put on that weight on purpose. I think he purposely put on that weight so the Pelicans stop messing with him. So, because he could lose the weight. That ain't nothing. All that's saying is that Zion doing his rehab, he's just not working out. He ain't doing, bro. They said, I was watching ESPN today. They said Zion has not even been to the facility, the Pelicans facility, in the last 10 weeks. That is crazy to me. How the best player in your franchise, #1 pick overall, he don't even want to rehab in New Orleans. That's crazy. He's all the way in Oregon. He up there where Rashad at. He up in Oregon rehabbing. He has not been to shoot around the New Orleans Pelicans gym in 10 weeks. Bro, he don't want to be there. And it's time. I think we need to go ahead and see if we can. I hope Travis is at least kicking the tires on the deal to get Zion. Because Zion, if you watched him last year, bro, he averaged 25.7 rebounds and don't really do nothing. It look like he don't even play hard half the time and still gets you 25 and still was shooting 60-some% from the field. So, I mean, I'm not saying make a deal, but if I'm Travis, if I'm the general manager, I'm definitely calling up the Pelicans, seeing what's on the table. But the Pelicans, such a terrible ran organization, they probably don't even see the writing on the wall. Well, they might see it because they sent out the Pelicans sent out their little if you're a season ticket holder, the team sends you an email trying to recruit more season ticket holders, trying to get you to renew your tickets. And Zion's hey, they listed the players. Zion ain't not even on it. They had Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and some other dude. But no Zion. Like, the writing's on the wall, guys. Zion's up out of there. He's out of there. And I would like to get my hands on him. But I would definitely see how much it would cost to get my hands on a Zion. Hold up, we got my boy Rashad in the building. The Clint Capella.
What's up, man? What's up?
Nothing, man. Chilling, man. What's good with you? Look, you just got off work, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was on the bus when I pulled it up.
Okay.
Just came in. What this is my outlet because don't nobody else let me talk basketball with him no more.
I know that's right, man. Hey, I'm the same way, bro. Like, my wife, she ain't trying to hear that shit, man. She be like, I don't care about no Hawks. But I see. Let me see.
Yeah.
She said, okay, it's gonna probably take JC to get a Zion deal done. Drummer, so everything you just said speaks of character issues to me. Who say he won't pull the same crap with us in a year or two because he doesn't want to play for us? Well, you know what, Drummer Boy? I'll say this, man. I'll say this. Now, I will give you credit on the character part. I'll give you credit. But this is my thing. If I'm Travis Schlenk and I'm making a play for a player like a Zion, the first thing I'm doing, I'm talking to the player himself. And I'm going to find out what are the issues that you're having with the Pelicans. Well, I know one of the issues was Van Gundy, that he didn't like Stan Van Gundy, so the Pelicans fired him. But I will have a sit down with the player and be like, hey, air out your grievances now before you make a deal. Air out your grievances so I know what I'm getting into. And then you just make a call off of that right there. At the end of the day, do you believe the player or you don't believe the player? You know what I'm saying? But as Philly has shown that, players, they'll get to an organization and just not want to play for you for whatever reason, right? Whatever reason. Ben Simmons didn't want to play for the Sixers. But when you see him on that Nets bench, that dude was motivated as hell on that Nets bench. Even though he didn't play, he was rooting on the team, everything. Like, he couldn't wait to get on the court. So, I mean, I think a change of environment and playing with a good team and good players. You got Trae Young. You have a good coach in Nate McMillan, who is a player's coach. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, like I said, man, at the end of the day, you just got to sit down, talk to the player, and it's really about, do you believe him or not? You know, because obviously you're gonna ask him about those character flaws. What you think about it, Rashad? What you think about Zion maybe
I,
coming to the A?
he don't want to. He don't want to be. He don't want to be in New Orleans, and I don't blame him. It's not the kind of market that he wants to. That a player of his caliber can really flourish. Like, you have to make them a winner, and it'll take over time. And they seem to always have the same issues to where uh, their players don't seem to uh, be able to get on the court or stay on the court.
Right.
Especially they bigs. It's a bad ran organization in my opinion. The owner also owns the football team, and from what I've heard, they mostly just put money into the Saints. So
Yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
not. I think Zion is a. I think he's a Hawks fan. I was trying to find a picture, but I thought like the day of the lottery, I think they said he had like a Hawks cap on or something like that.
Well, the day of the lottery, when the lottery was done, when they drew
Yeah.
out the draft order,
Hmm.
he walks by our logo, and
Yeah.
then he rubs the logo and he smiled.
Uh,
Like, the camera was on him and he rubbed it. He was smiling. Like, damn, I wish I could have went to Atlanta. Like, I don't know where the media gets the he wanting to go play for the Knicks. I don't know where they get that from. That could be any type of source. But bruh, when I seen him, but you got to watch that. When he rubs that logo and smiles, you could tell he was like, damn, I wish I could have ran with the Hawks. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, he's from South Carolina, so that's probably something. That's probably like home.
Yep. And then you got a young Trey Young, somebody who can get you the ball, but also, let's be honest here, Trey Young's a superstar, but he can get you the ball where you need the ball. You know what I'm saying? And I think Zion, um, with Zion, that'd be another player on the court that can draw a double team. You know what I'm saying? Besides just Trey Young. You feel me? What did Rod
Yeah.
say? You guys lose Clint, Cap. You guys don't got no center than East layup and dunk for other team. Paint point going up. You need Clint. Has Clint ever shot a 3-pointer with Atlanta? Rod, let me tell you, Rod, I'm telling you now. Don't let us win this game, bro. Do not let us win this game. Cause Raj, I'ma find you. I'ma find you. And even if you don't come up here, I'm gonna go to your YouTube profile. I'm gonna blow it up. I'm gonna light you up so good on that YouTube. You better hope we lose this game to the Raptors, dog. I'm telling you. Because I can't wait to let you have it. I'm just sitting here being calm, being a good host. But, bro, I'm going to let you have it when we beat the Raptors, dog.
Now, I mean, it does for so as far as the Zion thing, I do think I'm not sure how it works. Like just the way that the way that I would want to build a team.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it wouldn't be with a Trey and a Zion. But with that being said, Zion is such a just freak athlete. You always have to, in my opinion, you have to have a freak athlete to start a dynasty, right? Like
Right.
if you want your team to be able to win 2, 3, or like 5 out of 10, like you have to have that guy that's just like undisputed the best player at his position, and can't nobody say shit about it. And
Right.
Zion has that capability. I think his game will have to grow. I think the dynamic with him and Trey, I think it'll shift. I think it'll have to shift because Trey have to be more I think more methodical and well, not methodical. I think he is, but more judicious with his spots.
Hmm.
And he has to be okay with not having such a high usage rate. But I also think Zion can pass, but I haven't seen him like uh playmate from the mid post and things like that. And it could just be their team, but I think that could unlock a lot for us if Zion's able to do that.
Man, let me tell you, I think having Zion takes us to another level, man. I think now when I say that, I'm saying when he's in shape. Obviously, right now he's fat
Mm-hmm.
because he don't care about because he's trying to force his way out. The same thing. It's the exact same thing James Harden did in Houston. He got
Yeah,
fat, pouting. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, if a player want to leave, they should let him leave.
they
I mean,
should.
it's just like I look at sports. It's just like a regular job. Like if you hate your job, you can just quit and go. And guess what? You can go work for the other company if you want to, if
Hmm.
they hire you. You know what I'm saying? The only difference in pro sports is um they act like contracts are like a team just gonna say, you know what, let's go ahead. Now I understand teams gonna want stuff in return, so
Yeah,
get stuff in return. But just to try to hold a player hostage, you
yeah.
know, and I
It's
don't know
definitely
why
a
Zion
colonial
just
hangover.
he should just go ask for a trade if he don't want to
Yeah,
be there. If he don't, bro, he has not been at the facility in 10 weeks. He ain't been there since December, dog.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He out
He
here. He out here in
Yeah,
Oregon.
he
He out
rehabbing in
here.
Oregon, bro. Like, what
Yeah,
the heck?
man.
Bro, he didn't even call CJ McCollum until CJ McCollum said something on the All-Star game little thing. When he said,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I ain't heard from Zion. Then Zion called. He ain't trying to play for them, man. He is not trying to play
Zion
for them.
probably called him saying, "Look, bro, you need to get out of there.
It's a
You need
bad
to come back to Portland. I'm
he
loving it
like
here."
bro, that's a bad move, bro. You don't want to be down there.
Yeah,
But Drummer will
get
say
out.
he's still getting paid. I don't like the fact that he's pouting just because he doesn't like the organization. It seems like a pro will want to earn that paycheck even if he isn't happy.
Yeah. Well,
And you know what? I used to be sort of like that until I really got, into sports and realized like, you know, it's just like if the organization don't want you, they just trade you. In football, if they don't want you, they just cut you. They don't care about that contract. They be like, cut them, get them up out of here. So I mean, you know, the players.
yeah.
Go ahead, Rashad.
Yeah, just before I don't want you to change the subject. I really want to say this because I've been talking about this with my homeboy, particularly around the Ben Simmons thing versus no one compares it to the John Wall thing. Like to me, the the contract BS that they do with players is like a term that I've heard, a colonial hangover. Like it is literally a colonial hangover, meaning that like the owners feel and we are conditioned to think because you own this, you get to tell me what to do. And that's just not, that's not fair. Like in my opinion, like the organization of New Orleans is a bad organization. You know, just like the Houston Rockets
Right.
went to John Wall and told him, "We are not planning to play you." And everybody says, "Oh, it's
That's
okay because
crazy,
he's
bro.
making $47 million." But I'm like, no, because you're telling this man he can't do his job. What if he wants to go to work? He's a basketball player. What if he wants to play basketball? Because if he's not playing, then he can no longer, then he loses his ability to play. And that was 3 years now. He's not going to get another contract, And so that's the thing. Like, if
Well, that's
organizations that go ahead.
not what I was gonna say, and that's why, like to me, maybe because I'm not a billionaire, right? but I'm not gonna pay a player not to play. Like that's stupid to
Mm-hmm.
me. If I'm the owner and my GM told me, "Hey man, we're gonna pay this dude $40 million, but we want to play the young guys," I'd have been like, "You better play the young guys and John Wall." If I'm paying,
Yeah, exactly.
if I'm paying
Exactly.
him money, you need to play him. So I understand what you're
Exactly.
saying. Like teams can say, you know what? They did the same thing to Al Horford in Oklahoma City. They was like, hey, we're gonna play
Yeah.
the young dudes. You don't have to play. Just sit back and collect your $40 million. And I'm like, that's crazy because guess what? When a player says, hey, this organization sucks, I don't want to
Yeah.
play for y'all, then fans and media go crazy, like, oh my God, he don't want to earn money. But I'd be like, but y'all, you don't say the same thing when the team says, hey, we're gonna sit you for the like that shit is when I think about it, that is crazy. I'm gonna pay you 40 million to do nothing.
To not do your job.
So I could play young dudes. That is crazy to me.
Look, which they, according to all accounts, love to do. Like everybody says, if you make it to this level, you must love the game. So you're telling me, think about Kevin Love, right? Now, Kevin Love has made a resurgence. I'm glad he's ready. But the last time we saw Kevin Love prior to this year, he was 20-10 in the finals. And then they decided to go in another direction when LeBron left, and they just shelved him. And I'm like, yo, like, why? Like that's just, to me, I don't feel like in any way that's okay. What that is saying is, you think you own me, not
Well,
you're not you're not trying.
that's how billionaires think, bro. That's how they
Yeah,
think. And
exactly.
that's how they think, and that's the game. I just get upset when fans get mad at players. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Because you really should be mad at, you should be mad at the ownership in the organization.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this player want to lead the organization? Like that's what I'm thinking. If I'm a Pelicans fan, why does he want to lead this organization? As a Hawks fan, that's what I'm thinking when it came, to Al Horford when he left. Why did he want to leave? Why he didn't want to just sign that contract? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't be mad at the player because the organization trip, like your example with Kevin Love, right? That's the organization's fault. They should have waited. When LeBron left, they didn't have to give Kevin Love all that money. They knew LeBron was leaving. And they still gave Kevin Love that I think it was 4 years, 120 extension. And he would have been a fool not to sign it. So that's the organization fault. And what the organizations do, they try to flip it to make it look like it's the player's fault. No, it's your fault. Your organization is not ran properly. Like I said, it's just like any other job. Like even if you have a salary-based job, which technically you sign a contract, technically, you know what I'm saying? Saying you're gonna work, you're gonna do the job, blah, blah, boom, boom, boom. But guess what? If you don't like that organization, you can leave. You can quit and no one cares. You know what I'm saying? And go work for the competition. But I think that's crazy. And that's why players do what they do. That's why James Harden, when he was with the Rockets, that's why he put on all that weight. That's why Zion putting on all that weight all the way up in Oregon. He don't want to be in the organization. And if I'm the general manager of the organization, guess what I'm doing? I'm going to trade his ass. Well, I'm gonna talk to him, and I'm gonna say, listen, you want to be here, yes or no? All right, we too old to be playing the game. Tell, do you want to be here? If the answer is no, I'm working some trades. New Orleans could get a boatload for Zion. They get a boatload. So why waste your time trying to negotiate with a player who don't want to be there, but then you make your organization look bad? The dude don't want to be there, but y'all running behind him. Y'all look crazy.
Yeah,
like, I'm not doing that.
It's because it's the like I said, the colonialization hangover. It's I own you. But let me Let me get off my high horse. I want to say this: free my dog John Wall. Free my dog
Chill.
John Wall.
And
You know,
and
that's
then
what I want.
he almost got out of there, but the Lakers said hell no.
The Lakers was going
What's
to do
the
the same
general manager
thing to
named
him.
Pelinka?
Yeah, Paulinka.
Pelinka. No, they was gonna trade Westbrook. They was gonna trade Westbrook for Wall and let Wall play. But Pelinka said no, he didn't want to make that deal. That's why you see the reports saying Clutch Sports was upset with the Lakers for that. I mean, that's the only move they could have made. They had, I mean, Westbrook just make too much money. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like you could just trade him for a couple picks or anything. But so true to Atlanta say, who do you think will break out in the second half? I'm hoping I would like to see more from two players, true to Atlanta. I would like to see more on the offensive end from Dre Hunter. You know, I would like to see him give us about 15 to 17 points a night efficiently. And I would like to see a lot more from Kevin Huerter. You know, Kevin Huerter has so much talent. And I need Nate, he need to unlock that. And I think, in my opinion, unlocking Kevin Huerter is playing him more with Bogey in a bench squad. Because I think Kevin Huerter has in his head that he has to defer to Trae Young all the time. And I think it takes away some of his aggressiveness, because I think the first he get the ball, the first thing come to head is, where's Trae at? Where's Trae? You know what I'm saying? Which I could understand, because Trae is our superstar player, which, you know, other players do the same thing with their superstars. But I think if you watch the game, watch the Bulls game tomorrow. Kevin is a different person when it's him and Bogey in the backcourt than him and Trae. He's way more aggressive, man. Who you got?
Especially last year. Especially last year. Last year he was last year Huerter and Bogey in the backcourt were really good together. I think they played Milwaukee, not in the postseason, but in the regular season. Yeah. Bogey was on fire at that time. I do think that we need to add some. We need to adjust our offense, though. I do think we need to adjust our offense to include our wings. But that's a whole nother thing. Maybe we don't have the personnel to do it. My 2-1 is Hunter. And my other one is Lou Will. And to me, those two players are like instrumental to us winning. Our team seemed to come together with this 11-5 stretch,
right?
That we on now. Our team seemed to come together when we got our primary defender, along with the leader of the bench squad.
I mean, when you saw that Celtics game, man, like Hunter was doing real good, bro, till that foul trouble, man. And when I don't know how he got so many fouls in that third quarter, man. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, and I hate to say it, man, but the refs have been terrible against us this year, man. Like, bro, you rarely see Trae get and one, bro. He be shooting the ball and they be like, no, foul's on the floor.
Yeah,
I'd be like, what is going on here, man? Like, that's crazy.
They're gonna have to address that. They're gonna have to address that in the offseason, because the guy, like, whether or not his intent was to shoot before the contact, you know, you can't judge intent. And I think that's what they're doing. They're saying, I think what they're saying is he creates the contact and then he shoots. But you can't do that. Like, some of those things, like that Spurs game, he like hit us over the backboard shot when the guy just pushed him out of bounds. I mean, and they called it on the floor. I was like, yo, like that's clearly a foul. It's a shooting motion. It's a continuation. So yeah, but Lou, we need those two. What I would like to see more than anything is Nate McMillan to really hone in on getting his wing players touches in scoring positions. So I mean, you can run like horn action, things like that.
Well, I
You
got a
know,
question for you. I got a question for you,
go ahead.
Rashad, since you brought that up. Why don't we do that? Every time we bring the ball down, it's the same thing. They all
Pick and roll.
stand at the three. They all just stand there at the 3-point. It's the same shit. Watch. Trey bring
Pick
the
and roll.
ball down. Trey bring the ball down. If he don't get doubled, right, he dribble the
Yeah.
ball. Dribble. And they just stand there
Yeah.
at the 3-point
That's
line.
the
Clint
offense.
stand there right outside the paint. And I'll be like, no one moves. Even when Trey give up the ball, he don't even move. He'll go stand like at the 3-point line. He just
Yeah.
stand there. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Why is Nate McMillan? Why are we not running more plays, man? Like he got to see that this action stuff is really not working for us, man. I mean, let me change that. This action doesn't make the other team work. Like we be working
Yeah.
on the defensive end, trying to
Yeah.
chase, stay in rotation and whatnot. The other team, they don't have to work on the defensive end. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's a few things. One, I think it's because of Trey Young. And this is not a bad thing. Trey is probably the best operator of the pick and roll I have ever seen. And I said that in college when I watched him, this first game in college when he dropped 50, he had like 50 points, 20 assists or something like that, or like 30 and 20.
Yeah.
And I had Trey Young. I was like, if I'm the Hawks, I trade down to get Trey Young. Because to me, I was saying that he is Steve Nash with infinite range. This guy, I mean, he is a genius. He's a tactician when it comes to the pick and roll offense. So, I guess you'll look at it and say, well, let me put the ball in my best player's hand,
Right.
because that's the best option. The problem is that's not necessarily true. Because like you said, if you notice how we at the beginning of the season, we were losing a lot of fourth quarter games. We were losing games down the stretch. That's because if you're doing the same thing for 48 minutes, once it's time to get stops, we make our adjustments and we get the stops, and
Right.
you can't adjust to us. But some of it could be personnel. Like we don't have what I would like Collins to be, and what Collins said he wants to be on JJ Redick podcast.
Yeah, he want to be more like a
Facilitator.
Jokic. Yeah, like Jokic.
Yeah. When he said that, we don't have a big that we can facilitate the offense through from the elbow or the low block that can really open up the game for our wing players. Like if you watch Golden State, watch how Draymond he just makes everything go, and everybody moves and everybody cuts because everybody's in play when he has the ball. The pick and roll actions, a lot of times you just, it's you paint touches, you make your reads. You got the stretch wing in the corner, you got another stretch wing in the corner, you got the lob, you got the shot, you got the safety, and so I think that's one of the biggest issues, that we may not have the personnel to take Trey off the ball and facilitate a different style of play.
You're right about that, man. We definitely don't have nobody to I mean, they try, man. They tried with Bogey, they tried with Kevin Huerter. Even like with DeLon Wright, like when those guys are in the game, you can see how not see, but you can see the difference in their vision on the court and Trey's vision, because it's so many times I've seen the big slide through, and
Mhm.
they either don't see him or they just can't make the pass. And I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, every time I see that, I'll be like, damn, Trey would that's a like an average pass for Trey Young. So we definitely need a play. I want to say a playmaker backup point guard. Someone, and I'm hoping that's what Sharif Cooper can do. Now his vision, I haven't really paid attention to it at the NBA level because he ain't really had no damn time to show anything. But he looking real good down there in the G League. Um, with the points, the assists, and he kind of plays similar to Trey. Obviously, he's not at the level of a Trey Young, but he can run pick and roll. Still need to work on the 3-point shot. But I mean, I think he'd be good. You know what? I think who would have helped us real good last year in the playoff if Brandon Goodwin was able to play. That would
yeah.
have helped us when Trey went down, man. But
I love Sharif, man. He from my hometown, Powder Springs, Cobb County,
Cobb
right
County
there.
is
My cousin.
hey, Cobb County is not Atlanta.
No, it's something like Atlanta. you know.
Yeah. But hey, you see this? So True to Atlanta say, I feel to have an offense that's tough on the defense, we need to have more guys that aren't spot up shooters. Bogdan, Gallo, Hunt, which makes sense, and that kind of go back to the point that you was saying earlier, Rashad, that it looked like it's a personnel issue,
Yeah,
because that's what Bogdan, Gallo, Hunter. But I ain't even gonna lie. True to Atlanta nailed that shit right on the head. All of them are just spot up shooters, bro. None of them, hell. The funny part is, let's see, Hunter 6'8", Collins 6'9", Gallo 6'10". Besides Gallo, none of them have a real back to the basket game.
yeah,
So we are kind of shit. He done nailed the shit on the head. We are. It seems like, and I hate to say it, it's like we're one dimensional.
yeah.
Like we
So
can't play no other way. We can't like slow it down and throw it into the big. It's like we're just a one-dimensional offensive team where we I say it like this. We play this one way at an elite level because we are
mhm.
the number 2 efficient offense in the league. But he just I don't know why I didn't notice this earlier. We are one-dimensional. God damn.
Yeah, no, we one dimensional. We've been that way. So the only evidence that we got against it is the third quarter of the Minnesota game. To me, which was probably my favorite game this year.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like everybody. I felt like I thought we had found something that game, and then I don't think we capitalized on it. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Nate used it to built momentum off of it. But that game, if you remember, they were doubling Trey the entire first half.
Mm-hmm.
And so the second half, coming into the third quarter, they took Trey off the ball, and he would dribble up. He would go run to the. He was doing actions in the corner. He was running off of like screens and getting shots in the corner. He was getting corner shots. Then once he got cooking, he got his ISOs, and he was able to win
Right.
those. Uh, I felt like that was. I feel like that was our best, at least our best half of basketball, maybe our
Mm-hmm.
best quarter. I mean, maybe our best game. Because we were down by like what 20.
Yeah, and then didn't if I remember correctly, he got hurt. Um
Ooh.
um um Ant-Man. Didn't Ant-Man get hurt? He got hurt
Ant,
against us,
Ant
didn't
got
he?
ejected. He fouled out. He got
Yeah,
ejected.
ejected. Yeah. I knew it was one. I knew it was one of them. I knew it was one of them. But hey man,
Yeah, now we put
Damn.
up 134. But remember, Trey had what? Trey had like a 23-point half. We put up 45 points in the third. I think Trey had like 23 of them, and he was off the ball, and then he got so hot they couldn't double him anymore. Um, he just started cooking, started hitting shots, from the three and everything. So I think to me, that was the best. I wish we would play like that more, to where he's off the ball, running through actions. They're swinging the ball, and just utilizing him as a weapon instead
Mm-hmm.
of a quarterback. Instead of the everything. Like, use him as a weapon. I actually think that can open up the game for our wings.
Hey, we need something, bro. Cause playing I didn't know we all one dimensional as hell. True to Lunch said, if we're not hot from three, we're done for the night. That's 100% facts, man. I mean, but what do we have going in our favor? We do shoot 37% as a team from three. So that's one thing we got going in our favor. Um, we got a good rebound in Clint Capella because somebody got to rebound all those misses. But like you said, if we're not good from three, we pretty much cook because for some reason, and I don't know if you want to chime in on this, Rashad, we'll start running the pick and roll. It'll work, and then we stop doing it. Like, I
Yeah,
ain't figured that out yet. Like, why do we stop running pick and roll? Now, I can understand you want to mix it up, but we'll stop and not run it no more for the rest of the game. And I'm just like,
yeah.
that's baffling to
I'm
me.
I'm not sure why. I mean, sometimes sometimes they blitz Trey. I think that's why we have such a hard time, even when they blitz Trey and he give it up. We have such a hard time of getting of scoring, because we don't really have a counter action. So if they double Trey, you take the ball out of Trey's hand. Like, you can look at our offense; it just looks discombobulated.
Yeah, and
Uh,
we don't have and another thing we're missing is which is why it's important for either Herder or Hunter to get their ball handling skills up. We just don't have another playmaker without Trey Young. When they take the ball out of Trey Young hands, who can you get a ball to and say, "Hey, make something happen"? I mean, Kevin tries sometimes, but I'm so tired. I'm just tired of him throwing the ball to the other team when he be trying to do them
mhm.
stupid no look passes and whatnot. But I
He
mean,
don't look comfortable doing it.
is that it, but I don't understand why he doesn't. He's been in the league how long now? He's been playing ball for how long? And this year is not the first time they tried to put the ball in his hands. They tried it last year too, you
Yeah,
know. And I just don't understand why he can't get it down. Like, I mean, hell, I still can't figure out why he can't inbound the ball. Maybe maybe he need to fix maybe he need to fix that issue first, and then and then become a playmaker. But we really don't have another playmaker on the team, man. Like, everybody just, bro, they only run the Trey when he gets double, when he gets blitzed, then they'll move. But bro, they stand at it. This shit is hilarious. I'm like, we don't even make the other team get tired because they don't have to go nowhere.
yeah, yeah.
And so how can you win? Listen, like you said, man, and what you said was 100% facts, because good teams will do that. They'll pick up on what you're doing, and like you said, when it's time to get stops, they can get it because they
Yeah,
know we a one trick pony. They know we
yeah,
can't say, you know what, guys, we not feeling it from three. Let's throw it into Clint, or let's throw it into JC. They know we
yeah,
can't do it because obviously, as professionals, they scout us and know what our weaknesses are, you know.
yeah.
So I mean, how can we fix that? Well, I don't even think we can fix it right now. That's probably
I
something you
think
have to
we
work on in the
can.
off season.
I think we can. I think one. I think so. I think Nate, who I think is a really good is a really good coach. Like, I mean, top 25, top 30 all time. I think Nate needs to trust his instincts. You know, Remember, I kept talking about why won't he play? Why won't Nate McMillan play Capella and Okongwu together? So I read this article. About Nate getting fired.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that they said the reason he got fired was because they felt like his offense was too stagnant, and he didn't do anything creative with the offense. They said they played too slow. They felt like his offense wasn't good enough. And now you see him with the Hawks, that we're
Mm-hmm.
number 2 in the league in offensive rating. He used to default to defense. Like his starting lineup, I just pulled it up. He started Miles Turner and Domantas Sabonis in the paint together.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I used to ask the question, like, man, why won't he play Okongwu and Capella together?
I would assume that he values Okongwu's contributions to the
bench.
second unit, because
Yeah,
let's
but
think
you don't
about
have
it.
to take it away.
Yeah, but and now with a healthy roster, right? With a healthy roster, I think that he doesn't do it because he will have to take Collins out the game. And I think that, and I don't care what nobody says, right? I think that, a lot of managers, coaches, whatever, I think, how much you making plays a part. Giving a guy, if you giving a guy 25 million, he should be starting. Or why would you give him the 25 million per year in the first place? You know what I'm saying? So I think that plays the biggest part in why he wouldn't start Okongwu and Capella, right?
Yeah.
But what he could also do is, when you playing a smaller team, you could run Collins and Okongwu, depending, if they're small. But I really think it's a money issue, man. That's what I think.
I think I definitely agree with that. I think the reason he doesn't start him is because if you bench Collins, you ruin his value and you're stuck with him. You're not gonna be able to unload him. And so it's smart not to start him. But so the scenario that I said, when I saw Okongwu go up against
Embiid.
not Embiid, Giannis.
Right.
So he went up against Randall. He went up against Randall and held his own. Then he went up against Giannis the next game and held his own. At that point, I was like, if I'm Nate, we're losing. I just felt like he had opportunities to do it. Like, I was like, if I'm Nate, we're losing. I go to Collins and say, listen, we're going to give you 3 games off. You put Okongwu in it. You put Okongwu there. You can make up an injury. Put Okongwu there and see how that momentum is captured.
I don't think that's going to work, bro.
What?
You can't go walk up to Collins and say, I'm going to give you 3 games off. That ain't going to work.
Well, these players, they be having knick-knack injuries. So you can give them that. But here's the other scenario.
But you know what? Before you go to your next one, I will say this. He has that opportunity right now. So why is he starting Gallo over Okongwu? I think it's because he likes the energy he brings to that second unit, bro. Because he could do it right now. Collins been out for what, 3 games already? He gonna miss the game tomorrow, most likely. Why don't he do it? I mean,
I think the reason he doesn't do it is because he can't run the pick and roll offense with 2 non-shooting bigs.
Boom.
And so I get that, right? That's why I said, Nate, trust your instincts. He was a defensive first coach. Trust your instincts. And like Okongwu doesn't have to start, but you need to know if you have something there. Because okay, for instance, let's say we go to the postseason. Let's say we matched up against the Sixers again. You saw this last year, as a matter of fact, in the Sixers game. Nate was like, they're too big. So he went with a lineup that he had never done before in the regular season, which was he went with Capella, Collins, and he put Gallo at the 3. And he played it in stretches. It wasn't long stretches, but he played it in stretches. One of the reasons he did that is because, like, listen, we got to be more physical. And so that's all I'm saying. Like, let's get 2 minutes here. Let's get 4 minutes. Maybe we get 8 minutes because Collins is out. But we need to know what it looks like, because there's gonna come a time where you're going to need that physicality as a unit.
Yeah,
And
but look what you
if you
get.
don't see it, you can't do it.
But look what you give up on the offensive side. You got Capella and Okongwu. So that means you got 2 dudes in the game who can't shoot. Now I'm only saying Okongwu can't shoot because he hasn't taken a lot of shots right now. But you got 2 dudes who can't shoot. So what's your offensive strategy? I mean, Capella can't give you nothing except putbacks. Okongwu, I mean, I can't even remember if when he in the game have we ever even thrown it to him in the post. You know what I'm saying? So that might help you on the defensive side, but if you look at the numbers, the paint area is not where we hurting at. We hurting on the perimeter.
You can play other offenses though. No, and Okongwu helps you on the perimeter. Why? Because he's one of the only players that can contain the ball handler. Like, you can switch him 1 through 5, and they're not gonna blow by him. And so what generates open threes is penetration. You get paint touches, you kick it out. Okongwu can stop that, and then you got Capella on the backside, who's a really good pick and roll, pick and roll defender, who can protect the rim on the weak side. So to me, I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, I don't think it is something that they can do, 30 minutes or even 20 minutes. But can we get 8 minutes? Just to see what it looks like.
I could see doing something like that depending on matchups, right? So like
he said it against Cleveland too.
So like because Cleveland is running they was running Mobley and Jared Allen at the same time. So we needed some height. I mean, we know Gallo 6'10", but he ain't giving you nothing on the rebounds on the defensive side, not banking with them boys. What's good, JR? Talk to us, family. How you been doing, man?
What's going on? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You hear me?
Can you hear him? Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I got you. What's going on, bro?
I was listening. I'm like, I think Clint Capella will be on the trade block before John Collins. I promise you, bro. I ain't even trying to talk trash or nothing, but I think they would have traded John Collins. I think they would have traded John Collins this season if he was more of a trade asset before Clint Capella. So if it ends up being the offseason and they want to trade a player, I think they'll trade Clint Capella. And I don't think they gonna play Okongwu and Clint Capella at the same time. Like you said, they both can't shoot. So that's not gonna work in this era of basketball, especially if you got Trae Young on the floor.
Okay. What about this? Cleveland is what? Top 3, top 4 in the East.
Yep.
Both of they're number 4. They're 2.5 games out of first. They don't have they don't have a shooting big. Neither one of them can shoot. What about this?
Wait, who can't
Golden
shoot?
State.
Who can't shoot?
Cleveland. Mobley or Allen. Neither one of them shoot.
But Mobley has a post game. You didn't see what he was doing against us? You didn't see him with the moves?
Y'all said shoot. Y'all didn't say post game.
But guess what? Capella don't have a post game. Okongwu don't have a post game that we know of as of now. Mobley has a post game. I saw it with my own eyes when he was killing us.
Yeah, he got a
in the
nice
pa-
post game. So okay, what about this? What about this? Golden State. Golden State ain't got two. They don't have two shooters. Both of their bigs shoot below like 30% from three, and Looney doesn't even take them.
Yeah, but Wiseman don't need to shoot threes. But
Wiseman doesn't play.
but that's
Wiseman
because he
hurt.
hurt. That's because he hurt. But he played last year, and guess what? He can shoot. He can give you he can hit the little 12-footer.
I'm talking about this year. They're the second.
Well,
best
he
team
ain't
in the
playing.
league.
But he ain't playing this year. But but he's on that roster, and I'm telling you, he can shoot. He don't shoot the three, but he can shoot from outside the paint. Clint Capella gives you nothing. You can't throw Capella the ball. He gives you nothing. He only scores off putbacks and tips.
Bruh, why are you talking about Wiseman? He doesn't play. I'm saying this year, Wiseman doesn't play.
Okay.
Their starters
Okay.
are Looney
Even
and Draymond.
Even
Okay.
Draymond can shoot. Even Draymond can
Draymond
at least
can't shoot.
attempt and make.
He shoot the three.
He shoot
the
he can
three.
do something.
Now he ain't
I
no
got
elite
something.
3-point shooter. He not no elite
Yeah, he
3-point
not elite
shooter,
by
but I
any
guarantee
means, by any
he over
means.
30% from three. I would
No,
figure
he's
he
not.
over 30%.
Even if
Look,
you're
yeah,
over 30,
Draymond.
he still attempts.
What Draymond
This is his stat line.
All right.
He shoots 1.2 threes a game.
Okay.
So 1 3 a game. He's shooting at 28%. That's not a 3-point shooter.
Okay, he having a down
That's
season.
something. That's something.
No, he never. The year before that, he shot 2 a game, 27%. The year before that, 3 a game, 28%. Like he's
What
not
Capella-
a shooter.
What Capella shoot outside the paint?
Capella don't shoot outside the paint.
Exactly.
That's the problem. He's
Exactly. So that's
non-existent.
zero.
Non-existent.
So that's zero. How wide is the paint? So that's zero. That's zero from 6 feet. He give you nothing from 6 feet on out. Nothing.
Look, well, I get what y'all saying. My whole thing is we need defense.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's a gimme. We all know that.
So we can always get to our offensive lineups. We could always go small if we establish our defense first. You saw Golden State before the KD run. That's exactly what they did. They played Bogut and Draymond next to each other.
Bogut got post moves. They can throw it in the Bogut. Bogut was a number 1 overall
solid.
pick.
Yeah,
That
but
dude was
Bogut
balling
didn't
for
play
the
like that
Bucks
with them. Bogut didn't play
But-
like that with them.
because he didn't have to, but he could.
Exactly.
He didn't have to, but he could. Capella give you nothing. But hey, see that question down there? He says, "How do we really know Big O can't shoot?" Only thing I said about that baller was I only said he can't shoot because we don't have a real sample size of him actually shooting the ball. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got that sample size yet.
Yeah, but he is solid at the free throw line, you know, and that's a good sign,
Yeah.
you know. And he
Definitely.
He's solid at the free throw line. Like when Clint Capella go to the free throw line, bro, you might as well assume that to be a turnover because it's like, and I think that's part of the reason why he's so bad inside the paint because he's forcing his shot. He gotta go hard. He not relaxed when he in the post. Like he go like.
Man, y'all need to change the name of this. Tom, you need to change the name of this channel to Clint Capella Haters.
It's Clint Capella truth tellers. Nah, keep it real. You don't see him. You don't let Clint Capella get like 100 miles per hour inside the paint. Cause he know he don't want to get fouled. He know he got to get an N1. Because he know if he go like soft or he relaxed, he gonna break his free throws, bro. His free throws really limit his game, bro. You know what I mean?
This is the thing I'm saying, Rashad, right? I have no issues with Clint Capella, but let's be honest here. Let's not act like that his limitations on offense doesn't hurt us. So all I'm saying is if there's a player available that can fit that's a better offense. No, don't get me wrong. I give Clint tons of credit on the rebounding. He holds that down. I give him credit for protecting the paint. the rim, excuse me. But if there's a better big available that can give me that plus a little bit of an offensive game, and now I'm not asking for 20 points. If I can get if he can give me 10, but he can give me 10 from shooting the ball, not just putbacks. I gotta look into that. I gotta upgrade the position if it's there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be a fool not to. You feel me? So here's a good question right here, guys. Y'all, if y'all been tracking the Skyhawks, Justin Tillman been averaging like 20 and 20 for the Skyhawks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you one thing true to Atlanta. Nate not gonna play him. Okay, he not gonna play him, man. Matter of fact, I don't. Has he even been called up to the Hawks? I don't even think he's been called up yet. You know, they too busy rotating Jalen Johnson and Sharif. So I don't even think he's been called up. But I mean, we could use him, but we really need wing defenders. That's what we really need. Defensive-minded wing defenders. At least one. Somebody who can get out there and tell people where they need to be at. Somebody to tell these dudes, hey, stay with your man. Just don't try to guide him into Clint and all and that. But I mean, I've been following the Skyhawks and Tillman, he looked nice. But you know, one thing, man, I learned is with fringe players, meaning players who didn't get drafted in the first round, I don't even really put a lot of stock into that. Because he's not gonna get called up this year unless we was super terrible, right? Or it was injury. And even when we got hit with COVID, we didn't call him up. So I wouldn't hold my breath on that. And y'all got anything on that right there?
We don't need no G League players.
I'm glad you brought that up about the COVID rotations, because he really just gave a whole bunch of 10-day contracts. He didn't dig deep into our real roster, you know. So I don't get that. We was going on like a 20-game stretch with just like G Leaguers, but he didn't give Jalen Johnson a lot of time. He didn't give what's the other dude's name?
Sharif.
The other rookie we got. Yeah, he didn't give Sharif really no time. So I'm like, I know he was kind of hurt too, but I'm like, man, this is a time where you can dig deep in the roster.
Well,
and you up here signing.
Well, what happened, JR, is when and it's kind of messed up, but when Sharif and Jalen Johnson got called up, the next day they went in COVID protocol.
Yeah,
they didn't even get to play. The very next day they was in COVID pro. I was like, what the hell? Like, how you in COVID protocol already, man?
It was about 2 or 3 games where I seen Sharif Cooper on the bench, and then I'm like, who the hell is this inside the game? You know what I mean? It was like, I want to say all the. I feel you on most of the games, but it was like 2 games at least.
We got our boy back in. We got our boy in the building. The analyst is back. What's good with your analyst? What's good?
What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up?
Chilling, man. So True Atlanta says, are there any free agents you would target in the offseason if I was Trappers? Well, I'll tell you like this, man. I got to see what we do in the second half of the season, and then I can make a realistic choice. You know what I'm saying, on going after a free agent. But right now, nah. And plus, you know, if we don't make the playoffs, ain't nobody gonna want to come here anyway. Not no top free agent ain't gonna want to come here anyway, man. So, you know, it's a lot of stuff that factors into that. You feel me? What y'all got on that question right there, family?
I just pulled it up.
The biggest free agent right now is Bradley Beal, I believe. Yeah, he gonna resign because he gonna take that money.
But he don't want to play with the Wizards, dog. He don't want to play with them.
It's probably going to be in the sign and trade.
Yep, it's going to be a sign and trade.
He's gonna sign a request to trade. He gonna get that money, man.
He don't want to be with them, bro. He don't want to play with them, man.
I would entertain the sign and trade for Bill, though.
Okay, you entertain it? Give me off top of your head what you giving up for him. Off top of your head.
Off top of my head, Bogey, Dre Johnson, and maybe a first.
What? Oh, you said Jalen Johnson, right?
Yeah, Johnson. Yeah.
Okay, DeAndre Hunter. Yeah. I ain't doing that.
I mean,
Okay,
Dre
off
is
the this is just off the top of his head. So who you got then, Jr? Who you giving up for Bill?
I probably give up a bogey because I love that contract. I guess first round picks, probably a Clint Capella. But
that
I
works.
mean, I want to give up Clint Capella unless I'm getting like some type of big man return.
Yeah, they're not taking
Gafford.
Clint Capella.
You got
Gafford. I like Gafford.
They're not
Yeah,
taking
so-
Clint Capella.
I mean, I just want to
Should
give up Bogue. I wouldn't give up DeAndre Hunter just for Bradley Beal. You know what I mean? I feel like dude said at the top,
DeAndre.
our offense don't need improvement so much. So we need defensive-minded players coming in anyway. You know.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, DeAndre, he's up for an extension this summer, and I mean, I wouldn't extend him, to be honest with you. I mean, I would look into avenues to move him. I'm not giving him the money that he's asking for. I know his qualifying offer is a pretty reasonable amount, but I mean, I was listening. I'm sorry, I was reading something to where everyone wanted to include Kevin Huerter in trades. Well, I mean, what people don't understand is, well, first of all, I really do like Huerter. I mean, now don't get me wrong. If the right offer comes by for Huerter, I do it. But it's extremely hard to move Huerter's contract. He's on a poison pill, and that contract is so difficult to move. It's not even funny. He's $4 million on our books, but depending on the other team's cap space situation, he could impact their tax situation by $10 million. Even though he's not making $10 million on our books, he can impact them by $10 million. So it's extremely hard to move a guy like that. And I think people just think of players off the top of their head and they just start throwing everyone in, but they don't think about the salaries that's involved.
Is Travis behind that?
Well, you know the extensions. See, Kevin's extension ain't kicked in yet. It kick in next year.
Once his extension kicks in, then the poison pill is gone. So next year, offseason, you can trade him in the offseason.
So I tell you,
I would be up for a roster rebuild for contention.
I'll tell you this: you got next year, Trav. You don't have to extend Hunter next year.
Yeah.
It's a team option. It's a team option next year for $9 million. We need to exercise that option and see what he gives us. Cause first he got to stay on the court. Okay, then we'll see what he gives us. What we're gonna be sucking at is trade Supermax, because he probably gonna make all NBA. Supermax kick in next year. So that's gonna tack on another, that's 30 million, right? Then then throw Collins up there, that's 25. So that's 55 million with two players. Huerter extension kick in, that's another what he at about 17 million next year. So
that's crazy, bro.
I mean, for Huerter, that's actually a deal.
That's pretty cheap.
Usually those players in the 20 million and up range, right? Because they value the NBA. Because they value 3 and D guys.
But ain't no D in Huerter. What do you mean 3 and D? He got the 3.
Hey.
He is 3 and O. 3 and 3.
How about 3? How about 3 and some D? Okay.
Yeah, 3 and some.
3 and 3.
But they value those. They value those players, and he's 6'8", 6'7"? What the crazy with the wingspan? Like
7. Huerter's worth about like 10 million a year, bro. He's not worth.
Well, guess what? Hey, guess what, Jr.
You're
Guess
just
what?
not gonna be able to get everyone on a cheap deal. I mean, you got to give them. You got to be realistic with the guys. Like Huerter was the reason why we won Game 7 in the playoffs.
It was one game.
So I mean,
but you also remember this, guys. With younger players, you also paying them based off of their potential. So like Travis Link, I don't know if y'all know this, he has an analytics team, right?
Yeah.
He is heavy in analytics. So they run those numbers, man. And Travis wouldn't make that deal if it wasn't basically team friendly.
The owner wouldn't sign off on it. I was gonna say the owner wouldn't sign off on it if it wasn't team friendly. Yeah.
So I mean,
I like the deal.
I think Kevin Huerter extension, to me, it ain't that bad.
I
Now,
like
the
the deal.
the Capella extension was stupid because we didn't have to
Yeah.
extend him. We extended him for no reason. He still had like another year or two left on the contract. So I
What's
didn't
Capella
understand.
making?
25 million, I
That's
20
his
think.
extension.
Oh
I
man.
think he had
Yeah.
20. He in the
Or
20s. He in the 20s,
I,
I think,
Oh,
if I'm not sure.
when we extended Clint, did we pay him more or did we?
We just added on
Oh, it's
to the
only
current
2 years.
contract.
It's just a
Yeah,
2-year extension.
yeah, he just added 2 years. So I think
Oh
it was
well,
what
I'm
2
looking at
years.
his
Was
contract
it?
right now.
What is it?
It's
They added what 2
2 years,
years, 40 million?
46. It's 2 years, 46. That's not.
just that's not.
So
too
that's
bad.
what
That's
20
not
what
bad.
23? I was
Yeah,
close.
23.
23 million. I mean,
Clint's- we can move
considering
him.
I mean, consider 23 million for Clint Capella is not bad considering he giving you, he was the NBA leading rebounder. He giving you 14 boards tonight. He's our defensive anchor. So I mean, you're gonna pay for I'm gonna say it like this, guys. It comes to a point you just gotta pay these players. You're not gonna get everybody, like analysts said, you're not finna get everybody on $10 million. You're gonna have to pay these players because guess what? If you don't pay them, another team will. And unless you just want to keep recycling what I call it dumpster diving for talent, then you're gonna have to pay these players. You know what I'm saying?
And if you don't have their bird rights, you're going to lose a lot of these players for nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas you have their bird rights, you can match whatever offer, which you're not going to want to do that anyway because you didn't re-sign them. So I mean, you're going to lose these players for nothing, and I can only imagine the type of hate that Travis would get if he lost almost all the players who we had no more options left. If he lost them for nothing, and if he lost if he lost Herder in free agency, like if we weren't to make a decision in time enough, where we would lose Dre in free agency, even I believe we have DeAndre's bird rights. Like if we were to lose these players for nothing, Travis Schlenk would be pretty close to getting fired. But no, we didn't. We looked at the money, and we got him back on a deal that's not killing us in the pockets. But I mean, like I said, if the owner wouldn't have signed off on it if he didn't think that it was going to be a good investment. I want to ask you all this one question. When it comes down to contending, championship contending, we always talk about defense and how we can get defensive players. Look, I understand that the issue on our team is defense, and I think it's a major issue. But I look at teams like Brooklyn. I look at teams like Philly. I look at Milwaukee and Miami and Chicago. I look at those teams. They weren't concerned about defense when they brought in the guys they brought in. And look, Brooklyn is the favorites to win the title. I mean, you even got Miami up there. You got Milwaukee up there.
How many titles has Brooklyn won?
I'm talking about the odds.
Thank you.
Thank you. Look, I'm talking about odds and contention. Odds and contention. I'm not saying that the Hawks don't need defense, but what I'm saying is that eventually Trae Young's going to have a second partner in crime. He just can't. He's not going to be able to beat throughout the playoffs with the current guys we have. I mean, we've seen it. We talked about whether we should have gotten out of that Sixers series. I think we should have, but in my opinion, I don't think that when you're talking about when you talk about going up against teams like Brooklyn and Philly and very strong teams like that, I don't think we would have enough to beat a team like that in a series. And you know how optimistic I am, but I don't see us beating a team like that in the playoffs in a series because I don't feel like we match what they have. And I feel like if you have I guess what you call a 1-2 punch, you're gonna be teams. It's gonna be really hard for teams to beat you, and it's gonna be really hard for teams to stop you. And you force them to work hard on the defensive end, which is what the Hawks, lack at. Especially you're playing against a team like Brooklyn that has a 3-headed monster. It's gonna be really tough to beat them.
How many championships does Embiid and the 76ers have?
You mean with Embiid on the roster?
Well, no,
yeah,
I'm talking about
this team that you're talking about. None of them have championships. Like,
Okay,
that's not the
Milwaukee has a
goal.
championship.
Who?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
has a-
Milwaukee.
I'm
And
ta-
how did Milwaukee build their
I'm
team?
I'm talking
How did
about
Milwaukee build their team?
I'm talking about matching. Look, you got to get through teams to get to the finals. I mean, you can make the argument that if Kyrie was healthy in the Milwaukee series, that they would have beaten Milwaukee and advanced.
But who won?
But no, I'll be the first to tell you that the Milwaukee won fair and square. What I'm trying to say is that, look, I'm looking at, if we have to play one of these teams in the playoffs, are we going to be able to beat them? Are we going to be able to keep up with them? If Trae Young has to go out and get 50 every night, that is a lot. And to ask Trae Young to basically carry the team on offense, and maybe Hurtle will make a three, maybe Bogey will make a three. You know, you never know with Dre. I think that it would be really good if you get Trae Young, someone else who can do just as much or more. And then once you do that, it's extremely hard for teams to stop, because teams can't stop Trae Young already. It takes Trae Young to have a bad shooting night for him not to have a good game. I never saw a team that stopped Trae Young. So if you get another guy that they can't stop, it just makes you more lethal in the playoffs. And, you know, playoffs is a defensive game, but I think that just comes with the intensity. I don't think I've seen any team in the playoffs, at least, you know, going back to last year and the year before that hasn't played defense at some point in a series. So what I'm saying is that if we can go out and get a guy that we compare next to Trae Young, we will have extreme. Like, I'll use Bradley Beal for an example. We get Bradley Beal, I will take our chances against Brooklyn or anyone in the East any day.
So what you're saying is, to make a long story short, we don't have the talent to win a championship with the current roster.
Right.
Okay.
I don't agree.
I'm not Bradley Beal, bro.
Bradley Beal don't make us better.
No,
I
I'm
understand
just using him as an example.
Yeah, I see your
If we
point.
get another score, we gotta get another center presence who can dominate the paint, or who can create his own shots in the paint.
I'm all for that too.
Us getting another like dominant perimeter player like Bradley Beal wouldn't do us no good, because we already got dudes who can make their way on offense. As far as perimeter wise, we good perimeter wise on offense. We need guys inside the paint that can draw double teams. And
what about this guy?
Space.
What about this? What's good, Dwayne P? I see you, homie. What about this, guys? What about if we just give our guys a little bit more time? I was just talking to my homeboy today about it. This is my thought process. You know, you look at a Steph Curry, you look at a Giannis, I can go back, you look at a Michael Jordan, you look at Isaiah Thomas for the Pistons. When you look at when they won their first championship, these dudes had like 7 years in the league. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
7 years in the league. Steph Curry just started balling when they made their first run in 2015. He had already been in the league.
2013.
He had already been in the league how long by that time? Michael Jordan didn't win a title until Michael Jordan's first title was when he was almost 30 years old. He was almost 30 years old in 91 against the Lakers. Giannis, 7 years to win a title. So I think sometimes we get caught up, since we made that early conference finals run. I think we get caught up and we forget how young our core players are. You know, when you look at our core players, the oldest person is John Collins. And Collins is what, 24? Yeah. You know, our superstar is not even 23 years old yet. Kevin Huerter is how old? You see what I'm saying? You got to give these guys time. And I think a lot of people don't have that patience in sports. Me, I have patience because I've been rooting for this team. And they've been disappointing me forever. So, I mean, I understand the process. But I think a lot of people who recently started following the Hawks, and you see that run we made, you kind of forget, hey, these dudes don't really have all that NBA experience. Look at LeBron James. Even though he went to the finals early in his career, he still had to leave and go be with a winner to learn how to win those playoff games and not having to do it all by himself. Like you see Trae Young, people will probably say Trae Young do everything by himself. So I still think, we still have to give these guys time to learn the game. Now, don't get me wrong. This shit we got now is unacceptable. We should not be below 500, period. Right? But I still have to give these guys time, man. Is that, to me, that's what it boils down to. Now, we still need to add free agent moves here and there. We still need to upgrade certain positions. Like, I'm all for upgrading the center position, but Collins, Trae, Herder, we got to get Hunter. We got to get these guys more time. And everybody not going to be a star player on that first contract. Sometimes look at another good example. Look at Middleton for the Bucks. Middleton wasn't balling out the gate. He wasn't balling at all out the gate. Not at the level that he is now, the level he was when they won that championship. So you never know. Yeah, he was a G League player. So you never know when it's going to actually click for a certain player. And you don't want to get rid of your young talent until you've exhausted like all their opportunities. You feel me? So I think we just need more time. And that's why I said, was that run to the conference finals? How much luck was involved in that? I don't want to say luck. How much shit had to go our way for us to make it that far? You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it was good for us.
And then look at real quick, Rashad, and I'll let you go. Look at Oklahoma City. Remember when KD Russ made that run to the finals and never went back as a young big three? So, and then guess what happens? KD leaves, wins the title finally. And how long was he in the league when he won that title with Golden State? He was on his second contract. He was on his second contract. You feel me? So it's all about giving the players time to develop. Because KD came into the league, he was hella young. KD was hella young. Devin Booker for the Suns in the finals last year. He came into the league straight out of 1 year in Kentucky. He wasn't even a starter. And he on year what when he finally made it to the finals. So, we just got to get a team time, man. And hopefully they realize how hard it is to do what they did last year. I think they started the season thinking this shit was going to be a cakewalk. And now they got, they're getting smacked upside the head. Every defensive flaw we have is getting exposed by the good teams. And they getting smacked around. Hopefully they learn this year that, bro, just making the playoffs is not a gimme. It's not a gimme, as they seeing right now. That's why we having the discussion. That's why we out here fighting to just make the 8th seed or the 7th seed, so we don't have to do the play-in. So, there's no way. I'm gonna say this: unless I'm trading for an all-star player, not potential, but a current all-star player, bruh, ain't nobody helping us, man. We need primetime players now. We at that stage where we need primetime players. No more Jeremy Grants. No more like I call what Travis be doing, dumpster diving for talent. You gonna make a move? Make a move for a legit all-star, superstar / star player who's gonna immediately help this team get to another level. What was on your mind, Rashad?
And that's all I want.
Yeah. Now all I was gonna say is I think the Eastern Conference Finals appearance last year, I don't know. I don't think it did us much good. And when we did it, I was a little worried about it because, like you said, the problem with us making that run is once you make that run, you have to pay everybody. Like now now you have to pay everybody because you can't keep them because people are going to want them. Like you ever notice, like, I don't know how much other teams y'all watch, but I watch everybody. If you follow the Lakers, all of their draft picks are in the league right now, playing significant time, got big money. You know why? Because the Lakers have the most games on television that are nationally televised out of everybody. And so if you can play even a little bit, people are going to be able to see you. And I think that was the thing. I read a story about, like, Collins said he used to go to the same gas station before every game.
Yeah, and the dude didn't know
And they didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
Until he made,
the dude didn't know who he was. Yeah,
until they beat the Knicks. Now everybody knows who you are. And so to me, I felt like I think Travis did what he had to do. However, I do feel like the best way to capitalize off of what we had last year, because to me it was fool's gold, was to cash in on some of your players, namely Collins and Herter. But
well, he didn't have a choice, man. He didn't have a
he
choice.
had to pay him.
Travis set himself up for failure with John Collins, because what Travis should have did. Listen, man. This is my theory. I think he talked to John Collins' agent, right? Obviously, they talked because Collins turned down that deal at the beginning of the season, right? So I really think they came up with a little plan. They said, listen, Collins, I need you to go out there and prove it on the court. So he goes out there, prove it on the court by doing what? Sacrificing so the team win more games. Mm-hmm. So once Travis did not trade him at the deadline, his hands was tied. And it's the same thing I said about Al Horford. Like, as a general manager, you know what a player is worth to your organization. So if I say, Collins, I'm gonna give you, here's a contract for $20 million, and you tell me no, I think I'm worth more. In my head, if I don't value you at the valuation you do yourself, in my head right then, I'm already trading you. So when I get to the trade deadline, I already know I'm moving you. When he didn't trade him, he had no choice but to re-sign him, because you cannot let a potential, well, he is a 20-10 guy because he did it once. You can't let a 20-10 guy go for nothing, zero, zilch. So Travis put himself in that predicament. You know what I'm saying? If I know you're not worth the money, why would I wait till the end of the season and give you the money anyway? I'm trading you straight up, because I'm like, bro, you're not worth $25 million, in my opinion. I'm going to trade you. You know what I'm saying? He
didn't have any value, though. I don't think he had any value before the playoffs. So that would have been the only challenge.
But it doesn't. But it don't matter. If that's even worse, if he don't have no value, why would you give him a max contract if he has no value, right? So my thing is this: if I put out fillers and it's coming back, teams is offering A, B, and C for John Collins, I'm gonna take the best deal, because I'm not gonna give you max money. I already know I'm not gonna give it to you. So I'm gonna take the best deal available and move on. Now you stuck with a guy, you got 5-year max money. You stuck. He had no choice. You know, bro, you know how stupid he would look if Collins leave for free? You know what I'm saying? It's just like when they say fire Nate McMillan. That looks so dumb. How you hire a coach and fire him in less than a year, and he took you to the furthest you ever been in the franchise history? Like, that is so silly to me. You know, but Travis puts himself in this predicament. And now, like I say, you got to go to war with the soldiers you got. This who we have. This who we stuck with. You know what I'm saying? Your best hope is you hope a Collins either plays above that that contract, or he plays enough to where you a good return on your investment. Same thing for Hunter. Hunter's the perfect opportunity because we have a player option. Now watch Travis do something silly and extend him for no reason. Same thing he did with Capella. He didn't have to do it. Travis puts himself in these situations. Why would you extend Capella? I'd have been like, you gonna play this season. I still got you for another year. Play the season. But I keep my flexibility. Because then what if somebody would have came to me and said, hey man, what you want to do with what you got going on with Capella? I can give you this for Capella. And if it's a deal that make your team better, you can take it. But since he extends them in the offseason for no reason at all, because I ain't heard Clint complain about a contract or money. So he extended him for no reason. And now he limited himself at the deadline. Who knows if Capella could have been a trade piece for Ben Simmons or another player of or another player of that caliber. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying sometimes Travis, he just does silly stuff he don't have to do, which puts him in bad situations. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think, well, I want to pivot back to what you said about Collins. Well, first of all, we weren't gonna just give up John Collins for, like you said, the best offer available, because the best offer available could be something that would give us no better chance at being better. Because I was watching some stuff and it was talking about how Collins' trade value was extremely low before the trade deadline, and I feel like that. Look, if I get what you're saying, I don't think that he did not want to sign him. I just thought that they couldn't agree. I know that he wanted them back, but they couldn't agree on a contract. I think there was also an option for a sign and trade. But again, we talk about trades. Again, the right offer has to be out there. We're just not gonna.
But sometimes analysts, you gotta weigh your options, right? My option is this: if I offer you analysts $1 million a year to come on this show, right? And you say no, I value myself at $5 million. If I don't think you $5 million, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get rid of you. You know why? Because if I don't trade you, I'm stuck with you. I have no choice but to keep you, because now I look crazy letting a 20-10 dude leave for nothing. Zero zilch. Huh?
Analyst, I'll pay. He could trade you to me. I'll pay you $5 million to be on my show, and then I make $10 million off of. So that's how that works.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes what Travis should have been doing with Collins, he should have been thinking ahead. Like, I'm not giving you $25 million, but that's why I think him and his agent already had this shit ironed out, bro. I think they already had it ironed out, because when it came to the offseason, he got that contract easy. I didn't hear no complaints or nothing, negotiations going bad or anything.
He got it hard.
He asked for it either. It wasn't what he asked for either. He didn't get all the money he asked for.
Yeah, he wanted a max.
He wanted
bro,
a max.
How far is he off max money?
Like
he's
$7 million?
7-8 million off of max money.
7-8 million total, bro. Total. That ain't nothing.
No, that's total.
Not.
I think Max,
bro, he made 25. He had 5 years, 125, bro. 125. So so 7 million off
108.
So 7 million off that is what? 132, 133, bro. That ain't no savings.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about per year. I think Max are usually. I think Max starts somewhere between 28 and 32, something like that.
But it depends.
Right?
It depends on your years in the league. So his max, I think his max was like, I want to say it was like 31 per year. He had 25, bro. You didn't save nothing.
Well,
Bro, that's
$23.
$3 million.
So you don't think he deserved? You don't think he deserved that contract?
I think that
No,
after
what
the
I'm saying-
playoffs,
What I'm saying, JR, is this. When you let a player go into the last year of his deal, you already know what you think he worth. You already know it. You already got a number in your head, like this dude. So, like, I'll use you for example. You the general manager of the Hawks. In your head, you like, man, Capella ain't. In my head, Capella worth $10 million. So if he come to you and say, hey, I want my extension, I'm trying to get 20 million per year. No, I'm gonna make it more realistic. If he came to you and said, I'm trying to get 15 million per year, but in your head, you think he worth 10, and you already know I'm not giving him no more money. I think he worth 10 million, but he want 15, then you need to trade him. Because guess what? If you don't trade him, now you have to re-sign him. Because the player, now, this is if Capella was like a real good player. Because you don't want to lose a real good player for nothing. That's my point.
all right. So
You
what
gonna have 4 people on your roster.
So guess what? Yeah, I was gonna ask you like what other, like no, I'm serious. Like what? All right, so I want to make this point first. So what if you make your mind up that like right now, because Clint Capella is playing like that right now. What if the trade deadline was tomorrow and because obviously you have to be. Obviously, these GMs and owners are committed to the players that are currently on their roster. So you're going to show some type of commitment. You're going to attempt to negotiate an offer with the player. So let's just say for the rest of the season, Clint goes out and now he's averaging like 20 and 12.
Mhm.
And he improves his free throw shooting, and then you're moving to the off season. You still don't feel like that he needs to get 15, but you're willing to, I'll give you 12, I'll give you 13. That's not a lot of savings, but it's not. The bottom line is that Travis was not going to give Collins the max, but he was willing to pay Collins, a good amount. He just wasn't going to give him. He wasn't going to give him that
because he had no choice. Bro, he had no choice.
Well, he could have signed and traded him.
Yeah, you can't lose to John Collins.
He had no choice, bro. If he could have signed and traded him, what?
Collins was a restricted free agent.
Right.
So you know what that means? That's why Clint, after they went to the Western Conference Finals and almost beat Golden State, only got 17 out of Houston because he was on a restricted free agent contract, which means you go out and get whatever contract, all the offers that you can get, and then you have to bring the contract back to us, and all we have to do is match it to keep you. I felt like that probably would have been the best deal. But
so
again,
you think another team offered Collins $25 million?
I think probably most who got on the market was 18.
Dallas wanted them.
Bro, let me tell you something. If you think a team was gonna give him $25 million, that means his trade value won't that low. His trade value not that low. If teams say this guy is worth 25 million, his trade value is not low. So you could have traded him at the trade deadline.
That was after.
He had no trade value before the postseason run. Like he didn't.
Right. So guess what? So if I think you only worth 10 million, but you want 20 million, and at the trade deadline you ain't show me nothing, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to trade you. You know why? Because I'm not going to pay you based off of one playoff run. You don't operate like that. That's how teams get suckered into deals, because players on that last year they deal, they get, for some reason they are all-star. They are all-star, and then they get this money, and then guess what happened? They nowhere to be found. Their production is nowhere near. Their production is nowhere near what they did that final year. A prime example. I can agree with that. That's like a Jeremy Grant, who in the final year, he got one more year left on his contract. He looking for a contract extension. right? So some sucker team gonna pay him all this money because he putting up these empty stats on a bad Pistons team. But you pay him that money, and then you put expectations on him. He gonna be nowhere to be found. He gonna get that same sorry 20 points that he giving the Pistons, and you're gonna be like, bro, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Now, let me say one thing real quick. I'm not hating on JC. I'm just talking about how Travis messes up his flexibility when it comes to being able to make moves with the roster. You feel me? All I'm saying is he had no choice, bro. You cannot let a 2010 dude leave for nothing. You can't do it. But guess what?
Okay, so
go ahead.
I know I'm actually going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to have a response. So at the trade deadline, I can't remember clearly how John Collins was playing before then, but I want you to give me like either an example of a player or like a scenario, like for example, like maybe you want a young talent back, or you maybe want role players or draft picks. What would your asking price, if you were talking to other GMs and they wanted Collins, what would your asking price have been for John Collins?
First of all, I'm starting with a first round pick. I want it unprotected. Okay, I want an unprotected pick. Depending on who it's coming from. If I'm talking to, it's definitely gonna be unprotected. If I'm talking to a bottom feeder, okay, I want it unprotected, and I need a young player back in return. That's all. Position. That's what I need, huh?
At any position.
At any position, yeah. At any position, I want the talent, and I want that pick.
Now, I'm gonna counter this.
Okay.
And all right, so let me use a perfect example. Let's just say I was OKC, and you wanted our pick, and you know we're bad this year, but you want our pick unprotected. That is a no, because now I'm not saying that because I think John Collins is worth that, but what I'm saying is, first of all, they're not going to. If it was draft night and you offered them John Collins for, let's just say, the second overall pick, they would hang up the phone. So now, okay, so you want
that's why you do it at the deadline. That's why you get your stuff at the deadline.
You want an unprotected pick, and let's just say you want a guy like Pokazeshi. He's a good young talented player, or Darius Baisley or Lou Dort or a guy like that. Well, I don't feel like I need to give you that because, I mean, John Collins, you know, to me, that pick is worth more than John Collins. So maybe they counter your offer and say, I'll give you Derek Favors and 3 second-round picks.
Let me tell you why that wouldn't happen with me, analyst. You know why that wouldn't happen with me? Because I know where you're going, but I'm going to tell you why it won't happen with me. Because I'm already put it out there. So they won't even come to me. They already know what I want. This is what I want. The same thing he did with Cam Reddish is what he should have did with Collins. He wanted a first-round pick for Cam Reddish. Lakers offered 2 seconds. He said no. The only difference is he didn't have to move Reddish because Reddish was still under contract for another year. Your problem comes up when you're dealing with players who on expiring contracts, because now you can lose them. You can lose them. So I'm putting out there, hey, I'm putting feelers out there. I need a first-round pick and a young player for Collins. Either take it or leave it, right? And if the trade deadline comes, and in my head, I don't feel he's important to the team, or his value is not what I think it is, then I'm gonna trade him.
So what if the offer that you're looking for does not come by? So what if the best you could get is a couple seconds and a veteran and a vet?
This is what you got to ask yourself: is this the best deal I can get? Is it worth me paying over? Is that deal worth more than me overpaying for a player? Because in your head, you're overpaying because you put a number on that player already. You put a number. So my number is 20, but he wants 25. So in my head, I want to overpay for this player. That's what you got to think.
Well,
you see what I'm saying? Because you're going to overpay in your head. I get what
you're saying. Lose. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but then you also got to think, once you re-sign him to whatever whatever he's asking for or whatever you all come up with, he can go back right back and be traded at the trade deadline again. So
Yeah.
maybe his value is higher. So it's not like if you do re-sign him, it's not like you gotta keep him forever. All I'm saying is if you don't
But
like with
also-
Travis,
But also, analysts, his value can go down too. So
That's
say
true.
he come out,
You're right.
say he signed a deal, he come out and he playing like a bum for some reason, right? His value is down. So I mean, but my whole point is
If he can
Travis.
move,
I'm just saying, my whole point is Travis. He ties us. What's the phrase I'm looking for? He handcuffs himself sometimes, like with Capella. He handcuffed himself by extending him for no reason.
I do agree with that. Now
He handcuffed himself. He could. You can't move him. So if a deal
It's
did
not
come
fair.
across, yeah, that's why. Like if you see the article, they was like, yeah, the Hawks don't want to trade. What the article say?
Trae
Everyone's on the
Young-
trade block, but Trey and Capella. Like Capella was a star or something. Oh, he ain't.
Yeah,
no,
but-
he just can't be traded. He can't be traded because of that contract. That's why
Yeah.
his name up.
Yeah.
Not because we want to keep him.
He say by the
Because
bill.
of the restrictions on it.
Yeah.
Herb got a harder contract to trade because of the poison pill.
What'd you say,
I'm
Rashad?
telling you, you would trade
Herb
Clint
got a
Capella.
harder contract to trade because of the poison pill.
Yeah, Herder's
Yeah,
real hard
but-
to trade.
That
they
means-
were
that
willing to
means-
trade Herb.
but
They
that
really
means-
trade him.
That means he doesn't want it. That means when you put a poison pill on a contract, that means you want that player. Because that's the same thing we did with Bogey.
they
That's
was
why the
shopping
Kings. That's why the Kings didn't match it because we put that trade kicker in at the end of the motherfucker. So they was like, oh hell no. And then because he was supposed to go to Milwaukee, remember? Bogey was supposed
No,
to go
not
to Milwaukee.
Bogey. I'm talking about Herder.
No, I'm just saying about the poison pill part. But
Yeah, he
Herder-
was talking about poison before.
You put that on a dude you re-signed because you plan on keeping that play. You want to keep him. You don't want teams to go after him. That's why you put that there. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing we did with Bogey. We put that poison. Well, it's not a poison. We just put that trade kicker in, that 15% trade kicker in. So that's why they was like, oh nah. That's why Sacramento was like, nah, we're gonna pass on that. And that's why Milwaukee never went back to go get him. Because we put that offer on the table. Because remember, they announced that he got traded to the Bucks, but then they were
I
like,
agree with that.
yeah, they
it
had
was
to
a
go
sign and trade.
Yeah. And then they have like, oh no, we got to squash it because something was messed up on the contract.
Yeah,
or whatnot.
someone traded. No, actually, someone traded the first round pick that they didn't have. I think Milwaukee tried to
Yeah.
trade a first round pick.
But-
I thought that they got penalized for tampering.
Yeah,
Man, they all tamper, but I'm not hating on Dwayne.
Regime
I'm not
tigers.
hating on JC, bro. I'm not hating on JC.
No, I'm
just
not saying
using
you're
him as-
hating on JC. All I was saying is go ahead.
I like JC,
Me too.
but don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
if the right
If
offer
a
comes
player's
by,
available
hey,
that can and I can improve in that position, I'm gonna
Yeah.
bust a move.
yeah.
You
So
know,
I'm
I
saying, who you
100%
think they should deal first, John Collins or Clint Capella? Because they're getting rid
Clint.
of one of them. They're getting rid of one of those guys.
if I had,
know what Rashad said, but to me,
well,
Clint,
you could.
Get him out of here.
I would
Clint.
I would try to. If I had to trade something, I would look. First person I'm looking at is Clint.
yeah.
If I
I
had
mean,
to trade.
you can get in contact with Indiana for Miles Turner.
You say what?
Look at
I'm trading for Miles Turner. Who you gonna
Look at
trade
Rashad
Clint
down
for?
there.
Who am I
You can
trade?
get Clint.
No, it depends on. It depends on who's available. If a big is available, that's gonna make me better. That's better than Clint. I'm gonna try to make a move.
Yeah.
I'm not saying. I'm
Florence
just not
State-
gonna go out there and say, "Hey guys, I'm trying to trade my whole team." You know.
Yeah, and then like that's like one of the things that I was also gonna ask you about. So if I'm gonna put another scenario in place, like if you were at the trade deadline, and let's just say Clint was movable, and you had your asking price set for Clint, which I hadn't really thought about an asking price for Clint, but my asking price would probably be a center that can do, that can space the floor, shoot the ball better, and maybe a second round pick or two. Not the second round picks mean anything, but you want to get, draft capital back, just in case, draft capital is usually insurance in a deal. So let's just say you want that. So let's just say, and this is any scenario, it doesn't have to be just with Clint, but let's just say no team was willing to give you what you're asking for, but a team was willing to trade you, this amount of seconds, and then you're looking at, okay, well, teams are only going to offer me second round picks and right at average players. I'm going to look at the best offer for these average players and which second round picks have the most value to them. Are you going to look at that, or are you going to stand firm on, I want this if I don't get this? Because that's what Daryl Morey did. He said, I want this. If I don't get this,
I'm standing firm.
And then what if you don't get rid of a player?
Say what?
What if no one gives it to you?
Then he gonna be on my team. I mean, I got him under contract for another 3 years. Like, I ain't in no rush. I ain't pressed.
But would you have done that with? Now, I hate to go back to Collins, but would you have done that with Collins?
Bro, if you're an expiring contract, right, and I can't work out a deal with you, and you think you worth more than I want to pay, I'm gonna have to move you, pimp. Plain and simple. Because guess what? I'm gonna tell you one thing. A player, he don't have to do a sign and trade. He don't have to do it. Now, if you restrict it, you don't have a choice. But you know what you can do?
Exactly.
Just like Joe Johnson did with the Suns, when we got Joe Johnson as a sign and trade. Yeah. So with the Suns, you know what he told Phoenix? He said, "Don't match it." That's what he told them. They was gonna match it and keep him. They wanted him, but he told the Suns, "Don't match it." So I mean, Collins could have said, "Hey, Atlanta, Dallas offering me this," or they could have offered him more money. So guess what? Dallas could have said, "You know what? We'll give you more money." You know who else did that to us? Boston did that with us with Al Horford. That's how they got Horford. We lowball Horford 4 years, $100 million. And then Horford wanted max money. You know what Boston did? They said, "Oh, you're not gonna give him max money? Watch this." Boom, gave him max money. And
you know what also happened right after that? He went down. Al Horford is not even close to what he was.
But he wanted to be in Atlanta.
What you got to understand is this: sometimes the player, his fit, the fit is what matters the most. Yeah, that's why if you take somebody like Draymond Green and you put him on the Pistons, do you think they finna compete for a title with Draymond Green?
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No, they not. Yeah. They don't have it because they don't have the talent, right? On, you take Draymond Green. Draymond Green is successful because of the players around him, right?
They're top 4. Put him on there.
Look at Draymond Green is surrounded. He playing with 2 Hall of Famers. He playing with 2 of the best shooters in the NBA, probably one definitely of all time. So I mean, it's all about your fit. So with Al Horford, he fit with what we was doing in Atlanta at the time. Boston and teams like them, the Lakers, they just go after players who got any type of name. They'll just go after them. They don't care if you fit or you don't fit. They'll go after you because Boston and Lakers, what they don't do, they don't. Name me the last young player the Lakers develop. They don't develop players. They take players.
Kyle Kuzma.
And he don't even play for them no more. He played and he having his best season. And look, they all having their best season with other teams.
With other teams, yeah.
Now the Celtics, you can get the Celtics, Jaylen Brown and Tatum, right? They drafted both of those guys. You feel me? But they don't really develop players like that. They take players. So and that's what they do, man. They'll come in there and say, "You know what? Oh, you don't think he worth max money? This your offer?" Well, guess what? Because Dallas could have did that. You know that, right? They could have been like, "Guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna give him max money, and then they're gonna dare you to match it. Now match that. Now you
all right. Now let me tell you what I would do if I was the GM.
What you would have did?
I'm matching it and I'm moving him. I'm matching it and I'm moving him. I refuse, unless he's not that valuable, I refuse to lose the player for nothing. If I have to sacrifice signing them for however long and trading him later, I will do it. I'm not going to just lose a player of that caliber for nothing. So even if I had to match a contract like that, I would do it. But
So
you can
what?
move later because
So what if?
I'm not gonna continue to pay you what I already told you I'm not gonna pay
And
you.
you know what another team would do when you try to do that, they're gonna say, "Nah, we don't want to trade for him. We good." Now you stuck with the player. You paying them anyway.
Well, so here's the thing about being stuck with a player, right? That's actually relative, right?
Yeah.
And this is what I mean. Collins making he 5-year 125, making 25 per year right now, right?
Right.
What if we were the number 3 seed? What if we were the number 3 seed right now?
Mm-hmm.
How much like he has the same numbers. He
Mm-hmm.
still don't play no damn defense.
Okay.
But we the number 3 seed. How much does that change his value?
It changes its value a lot because guess what?
Exponentially. Exactly.
Because most listen, let's keep it a buck. Your expectations from fans, from the organization, goes up when you get paid. You think they're not gonna look at when Trey make that all NBA team this year and that $200 million contract kick in next year? You think they don't got expectations on Trey Young? You think, bro, if Trey Young come out next year and say Trey come out right and he averaged like 23 points and like 7 assists, right? You think fans ain't gonna be on his ass for that?
That's what I want.
They're gonna be on his ass. The only way they'll get off his ass is if we win a championship or something like or make a hellified playoff run. But when you sign these contracts, that's when the expectations come. Because Collins was giving you 21 and 10 on a rookie deal, and no one cared.
Collins was giving us 21 and 10 the year he was caught shooting steroids. That was the only year he averaged that. He was on that Barry Bonds.
Hey, but that Barry Bonds don't put the ball in the hole though. That Barry Bonds ain't got shit to do with shooting the ball, pimp. It'll make you stronger. It'll make you stronger, but it don't. Hey, it don't help with eye hand coordination, pimp. It don't help with that. But my point is this: no one cared when he was on a rookie deal when he was made because he was drafted 19, so he was making like $3 million that year. So when he made 21 and 10, you hear no complaints. They like, oh my God, Collins is good. Woo, woo, woo. Soon as word got out that he wanted max money, because that was the word. Soon as that got out, oh hell no, we can't give him that. We can't give him that. You be like, but he averaged 21 and 10. I don't care. We can't give him that. And now look at this year. He giving you 38% from 3. He's shooting over 50% from the field. He giving you what? 17 and 7. And people hate Collins.
People don't hate Collins.
Bro, they only hate him because of his contract. It's just like Falcon fans. They only hate Matt Ryan because he made $40 million. If Matt Ryan was making $3 million, no one would care. So your expectations go up the more money you make.
For me with Collins, it's not about the money. It's about the experience that we've had over the past, let's say, 3 years.
But see, Rashad, you a diehard. You a diehard fan.
Yeah.
The casual fan don't care about what you about to say. You think the casual fan be like, man, you know what, man? Hey, listen, over the last 3 years, man, hell no. The casual fan be like this. He make how much money? And he only giving you 17 points. Oh, hell no, man. He terrible.
Let me ask you this. And I wanted analysts, I wanted to hear what you had to say about it too. Collins at his contract, 20 and we're 35 and 23. Is he worth it?
Wait, say it again.
Collins at his contract now, and we're 35 and 23. Do you think he's worth it then?
Wait a minute. So you're saying that he's
do you think Collins would be worth his 25 mil a year if we were 35 and 23?
Yes. And I'll say why. I think that he'd be worth the look. It's all about winning. If you're not winning, then everyone's going to be in question, except for obviously, Trae Young, because we're not trading Trae Young. But everyone's going to be in question if we're not winning, because look, we obviously saw a slight decline in Collins' numbers. So we're going to look at Collins like, well, Collins, we're under 500. You're not giving us the same amount of, you're not giving us the same numbers as you were last year. What's going on? You're not playing up, up to your contract. You're not playing like the 20-10 kid that we signed, and you're not playing like the kid in the playoffs that we signed. What's going on? I feel like we were, what you said, 35-23. Yes, I do feel like it'd be worth this contract, because in the end, it's all about winning. That's all the owner cares about. That's all the GM cares about, winning. And if you're winning, no one cares what contract you have. If you're losing, everyone's looking at what contract you have and like, no, you're not worth it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because like I said, your expectations increase the more money you make. It's just like with football. No one cares what the rookie quarterback do. No one cares. Just don't lose the game because he on a rookie deal. But then when he signed that big mega contract and taking up 20% of the cap, now if he don't win the Super Bowl, we paying too much. Same thing with basketball, man. It's the exact same thing. Trae about to make that Supermax, man. He make this all NBA team. That damn Supermax kick in next year, boy. Do you know what type of heat he gonna catch next year? Say we have the same year next year like this, right? They finna be on his ass. Every media outlet finna be on his ass. Like, he a Supermax player. He can't even keep a team above 500. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you sign these contracts, that's why it's important when you offer these deals to players, man, you do your due diligence and that these players come through. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not knocking, like I said, I'm not knocking John Collins. I like Collins. I understand what he brings to our team. I understand the chemistry he has with Trae Young. But I was just using him as an example on why fans be hating on him. They only hate on him because of his money. Like I said, if he was making $15 million, no one would give a fuck. Right now, our current record, well, you need to give a fuck about Clint Capella because he's making 20-something million. He terrible. He can't eat. We paying him $20-some million and we can't even throw him the ball.
You got to pay him $45 million to rebound his own misses.
The only way. Hey, the only way you can pass it to Clint in the post is if you shoot the ball and miss. That's the only way he can get the pass.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
Look, Clint is good for rebounding his own shot, occasionally a couple blocks, and going into the media and talking about, what do you know?
That's $25 million. That's $22 million right there, getting his own rebound.
Now you know how much.
But fellas, I gotta end this live stream, fellas. I got a job I gotta get up for in the morning, baby. I got a job I gotta get up for in the morning, family. So, hey, I appreciate y'all coming on once again. Salute to y'all, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Probably gonna go. Shit, we got Chicago tomorrow. God dang it.
I think we got that game.
I hope we win.
That one in Atlanta, or is it in Chicago?
Chicago. The one in Atlanta is.
We losing that one.
Chicago.
Hey, as long as we beat the Raptors, so I can get on Raj's ass.
Oh yeah.
I told Raj, I'm telling you, we beat y'all. Raj, I'm telling you. But hey, fellas, I gotta cut this live stream short, man. I think, shit, I gotta go tuck my son in. But I appreciate all y'all coming on, all y'all tapping in with us. We gonna be obviously, y'all know we're gonna do post game live tomorrow after the Chicago game. So y'all know where to tap in at. I'll still put a reminder up on YouTube to make sure everybody tap in. So I appreciate y'all, man. Anybody, hey, you got any last words to say there, JR?
Oh, nah. Fella, thanks for having me on.
No problem, homie. Anytime. Any last words there, Rashad?
Clint Capella number 3 in rebounding this year. That's what I got to say.
Oh,
His
okay.
own shot.
Yeah. And my boy Analyst, you got anything? Any last words there?
W's tomorrow. W's.
All righty. And make sure y'all tap in. Analyst got his own YouTube channel. Make sure y'all go over there, comment, watch the video, subscribe to him. What's your YouTube channel, Rashad? You post up there?
So I got a music channel. I got a radio station. It's deactivated right now. But I'm when I get it up, I'll send y'all the link and stuff if y'all want to check it out.
Okay, bet that. Your YouTube channel up, JR?
I'm trying to get it rolling, man. I'm trying to get it rolling.
All righty.
Try to get some started.
Hey, do that, man. Do that. So
Hey,
we're gonna
you'll
tap
have
in
our
tomorrow,
support.
guys. Yeah, we right here, man. We'll tap in with y'all tomorrow, guys. Post game report. Tap in with your homies. My damn thing tripping. Tap in with us tomorrow, man. And I'm gonna holler at y'all tomorrow. Let me go do my dad duties.